Dragon Ball Z.
Oh gosh.
2
On the
weeks
last
ago.
episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Only one of you were in last week's session. So what happened 2 weeks ago?
Gosh. So, we went to the place with all of the big walls around it.
Ooh.
And we find
Yes, the
we
city
got
of Lovoxith, yes.
okay, but this is like a certain part that was like so we kind of
Ravani?
like we kind of like started walking through, and then we got like ambushed, but like not actually ambushed, because they were like not gonna actually kill us. They just want to be like, oh, you guys want to do some like what's the word?
Negotiations.
Yeah, negotiations. There we go. You want to do some negotiations? We were like, yeah, and they were like, great, and then they were like, let's break all of our fingers. And then they were
I like the streamline of that.
You're missing some very important parts in there.
I'm sure I am. So if you want to fill in, whenever.
So I did some really good diplomacy, and then the bad guy asked what the evil summoned creature looked like, and like other people gave really bad wrong answers from what the guy we were negotiating with had seen. So it just threw all that down the toilet, and we had to go into breaking fingers.
Oh.
Me versus a giant.
Yep, and then Nate joined that. I don't remember why.
Because he was out of fingers.
I was out of fingers.
Yeah, I didn't want Owen to be the only one suffering, and then wanted to help him out. And then we got some extra stuff. More people joined in the attendance.
The next part of the negotiations was seeing who could get punched out faster. And we won by using tricks. And
it wasn't tricks, it was magic. No one said we couldn't do that.
I don't
Booner
think
knocked me out.
I don't think there's any more after that. I think that was just what happened, right?
I gained a new best friend.
You did gain a new best friend, that's right.
The best
After he tossed the other guy over the wall.
Yeah.
That's all I remember, so.
Got a huge orc named Berg.
Yeah.
Berg.
Ogre. Ogre. It was an ogre.
An ogre named
Ogre,
Berg.
sorry.
Yes,
and now we can go through. We need to go back and get our armor and shit, and then head where we need to go.
Negotiations have succeeded.
Technically.
The real question on everybody's mind is, what would Sir Thalion had said when they started questioning about the demon that attacked them?
I wasn't there. I have no idea.
Are you saying that out of character or in character?
I'm saying that out of character. I wasn't at the session.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's what we're establishing. You weren't there. What would you have said
about the demon?
Yes.
Yeah, the demon that they saw. Because we
the one that you fought way back in the early times.
Yeah.
Long ago.
The one on the other side of the wall that is it that one? Or are we talking about Grimm's character?
Dog, there's been one demon sighted this entire campaign, and you had a front row seat to it.
Are you talking about Grimm's character?
Yes, the only.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just want to make sure that was what we're talking about. What would Sir Thalion have said?
The negotiator would have asked you to describe the demon.
Okay.
What would you have said?
I guess I would in the if I knew the context of if I wanted to disclose that, because I don't know if I'd want to disclose that. I'd only disclose that if it was in our favor. That I knew that what he'd look like.
Well,
I mean,
it was in our favor.
If it was in our favor, then I would certainly have described a tall, bestial creature that almost looked kind of bearish, but also man style, and has the ability to be able to swallow a giant orc whole. So very haunting, very scary, and yet extremely polite gentleman.
So I just want to get this straight. You would have been the saving grace that would have stopped everything that happened last session from happening.
Damn.
Is that what you want to tell everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to.
But it was really fun. I
you guys
enjoyed
miss me?
getting knocked out.
No,
Me too, and I enjoy my new best friend. I may need him later.
No, it's still
Right.
it's
My
still
future
would've happened.
husband.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Berg, that's right. You and Berg. I know the chieftain. He knocked the chieftain out.
Yeah, that was the guy he threw.
Yeah. The chieftain's gone. Your future husband. You're open again. You're free. You're back on the market.
No. I was just playing the field with him.
Okay. All right.
He wasn't serious for Takira. He was too weak. Yes.
He talked too much.
Yes. Well, no, he didn't.
I'm just
He
happy
spoke moderately.
that you and Dustin got to punch each other.
Yes.
Okay.
I lost.
No, but I think everybody won. So, yeah, the tent had been cleared out after the chieftain decided to attack you because he was a sore loser. You gained Berg as a friend, and then you guys were debating what to do next, and I said we should probably halt that before Sir Thalion, so Sir Thalion could jump in on that conversation. So, chieftain knocked out a tent. Berg sitting there licking his fingers that used to be there, but wounds are now closed thanks to healing from Owen. But yeah, Berg is just sitting there kind of, reminiscing of fingers lost while you guys are debating your next move. Go for it.
So is the takeover or the hostage situation stopped with what we did?
Sure.
That doesn't
Okay.
sound.
That's
Well, you killed the one person you were negotiating with.
Right.
Well, that sounds
So-
successful to me.
yeah.
That
Okay.
sounds like a
All right.
It sounds like
Alright.
then
Yeah.
it does then sound best that we maybe converse with Berg to
And
the
any
Be
of
a
us,
real short conversation.
Yeah.
can any of us speak Orc?
I was just
Ogre.
saying we need to
Go
figure out
Ogre.
how
Actually,
to
I
converse
believe
in a way.
I believe you got me saying it. I believe ogres speak giant. So
Okay,
if any
giant,
of you
sorry,
speak
you're right.
giant.
Yeah.
And how close would that be to Goblin? I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm like a Goblin.
I'm working out really well. Go ahead.
I thought they spoke Orc,
Oh,
What
well,
was
never
that,
mind.
Spooner?
so I thought they spoke Orc.
They could. I'm not
Find
seeing
it.
it on their sheet. Nope, they speak giant. So, yeah.
Dwarven's not helpful.
Unless you have giant, nothing's going to be helpful.
Right.
Nope.
Okay.
Or some kind of spell, but I don't think I'd have that
Comprehend
now.
languages. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have that.
Well, linguistics isn't that a skill?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
yeah. I mean,
If
it
you
would
get
help
more
a little
levels,
bit.
I mean, you could try to like
if you get
communicate.
I'm
more,
gonna.
if you get more levels in it,
You
can.
weren't here,
learn
Travis. This dude speaks in one-word sentences, and 50% of those sentences are Berg.
Damn.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're trying to get information out of him.
They were
No.
negotiating with him.
Okay, just making sure.
we negotiate. The things have already been done. We already negotiated with
Okay.
cracked, broken fingers, and I dislocated my elbow.
Yeah, I remember the
Some
fingers.
people got knocked out. So mostly what I would wonder is if we can at least get buddy with Berg to see if we can find where these hostages are.
We saw him as we came
We
in. They
saw
were in all
him,
the
yeah.
cages.
Yeah.
So would we be able to have him lead us with them to be able to be like, hey, they said we're gonna get these people out and then we're gonna tell the guards what they want.
Sure, ask him.
Berg?
And you see him take his hand and stop dangling it and look down at you and go, Berg. And he pats his chest, and then he points at you.
Okay, and I pat my chest, and I kind of like point back down the trail where we came from and try to point towards where we saw the hostages at and go, can we meet to finish the negotiation we finished, and show my like floppy hand that I dislocated.
Oh, I don't have healing of the paladin, do I?
I still have some
Bird
ability to cure, but
looks at you and he's following your hand motions and he's nodding. And when you keep pointing and pointing, you see his eyes drift and follow. And then when you look back, he's staring at you, and this big glob of saliva just starts pulling down the right side of his cheek.
and I just give a thumbs up and go, cool, and look over at Owen.
And then he goes to give you a thumbs up with the hand without fingers and starts sobbing.
All right, Owen. I think I've expended what I could.
Although, when you are looking back that way, I keep getting you and Travis mixed up, and now you're in the same session. Lucian, you do see that there are 4 people, 4 or 5. Where are some notes? Notes. 4 people, 5 people walking your way, and one of them is Melodar out front. And Sir Thalion would know, in character would know this. Melodar is a halfling. He's like the voice for all the clans. He was the one that greeted you guys out of the gate. And
Punchax.
What?
Punchax. His last
Yes.
name's Punchax.
Yeah, Applejacks, whatever his name is. Yeah. But yes, Melodar is leading, and what you guys see are well-dressed individuals as far as the rest of the clans are concerned. There is a Vishkani-looking person dressed in what looks to be azure plate mail, but it doesn't look heavy. It looks very form-fitted. There is another burned. What is that? Sorry, I got 2 different pages here.
It's all right. You're done.
Thank you, Nate. Everybody take 5.
All right. Real quick, as we do that, then can somebody
it's been kidding. Go ahead. What's wrong? What do you need?
It's just been like a month since I was in the session because I missed last one, so that means it's been 4 weeks. Can somebody remind me what we're trying to do right now?
It's been 2 weeks. You missed 2 sessions?
I missed the last session, which was that last week or the week before?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so then I wouldn't have played for 4 weeks.
I got you. The way you said it made it sound like you missed 2 sessions. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So do you remember you not wanting to give up your weapon at the gate?
Yes, I do. I remember talking to the guard, and because we want to go in, and we had a bad feeling about it because we were going to need weapons. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I do remember talking to the guy and trying to negotiate as a team.
Okay, so from that point on, that's where we decided like it is best to probably lay weapons aside because we figured we could do this diplomatically, and it turned into what we've just talked about, snapping fingers and negotiating in that way. But we're trying to get these hostages out of here, and our best laid plan was turning into trying to find what grounds these people in Ravani needed, because they seemed like they wanted a seat within the courtship of Lovoxith to be able to at least talk with each other, and then this one chieftain seemed like it was more like he wanted to control people. So we were like, okay, like we're trying to more get to ground so that we can be balanced together, reach each other, without it becoming someone over another. And that's where we're at.
Thank you. Okay, so we're still trying to get to the hostages then.
Right. Now we're just, in a way, like hopefully Berg will be on our side with like getting these people out, and then we'll tell the guards what the people in Ravani need and what they want and what happened to them.
Thanks, Nate.
And why they're negotiating.
Appreciate that.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Do you remember everything else that happened? You guys are working for Hugo, separate into two different groups. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And Takiri's leading you to her mountain home, supposedly.
I remember that was the whole reason that was like the way
Okay.
through is we had to go through this town, and that's how we encountered about the hostages. We can't go through without fixing with the hostages.
Yep. So you, aside from that Vishkani dressed in azure plate, you also see a hobgoblin dressed in what looks to be smoldering fire-cracked leather. So just basically like a leather harness that seems to drape down in kind of like a robe fashion. And you can just see smoke and searing, flickering off brightly, and I don't know, flickering fire, whatever you want to call it, flickering, smoldering. It's smoldering. You also see somebody kind of dressed like the chieftain. I'm sorry, not the chieftain, like Melikar, but he's dressed in gray robes. That's all you guys can really see from him at the distance he's at. Just a figure dressed in gray. And then there is also a very short-looking goblin dressed in ripped-up linens. Possibly, if you made a high enough perception roll, but you're going to see it anyway, who's going to have bronze tribal tattoos all over his body. None of them are armed, but the 5 of them are all walking towards you guys. They're a good bit away, enough that you guys can see them and react.
Did you list off their names or not? Do we not know their names?
You only know Melodar. And Melodar's description was, for you, Travis, I don't know where it was. That's Melodar. If you don't know him, I can't explain him to you.
Yeah, I only have him written down as a halfling with a slow melodic accent.
Oh, here he is. Low melodic. I couldn't remember what his voice was. But he's dressed in fine linen pants and shirt, wears a rusted copper necklace with an emblem of a broken bone on it.
Gotcha.
So he's one of the. He looks like he's properly dressed, probably desert-worn clothing, meaning it looks sandy and stuff and ripped, but kind of like a well-dressed pirate. There you go. Knowledge, nobility, untrained for a 10. I'll give you one of them. Roll a d4.
All right.
All right. You will know. Well, you got Meldar for free, so you really get 2 of them. So you will know the 4th one is Blake Dagut, of the Silt Sleepers. An up-and-comer. He's 3rd in line. So the Silt Sleepers are the guys you have just... It was the main chieftain that you killed the first time, Travis. And then he was the chieftain that that took over for the ones you guys killed. So you guys have been around for basically the fall of this house. The Hergosts are broken up into 4 clans, and the Silt Sleepers are the dominant one right now. And you've taken out 2 of the heads. So this is the 3rd one that you know of. Why you know them, Sir Thalion, is probably due to your Kildrekian ties. But yeah, so he's the 3rd head, the up-and-comer of the Silt Sleepers.
Would I have any concern of them knowing who I am regarding, who we killed?
I mean, they are blaming a demon. They're not blaming anybody else.
Perfect. Good. No, that's all I needed.
Yeah, their biggest issue is that they feel that the town sent those pamphlets in, and when they went to negotiate or talk to the town on behalf of the Hergosts, the town attacked them with a demon. That's their story.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Thank you.
I don't have portraits up. Melodar is right there. I do have Melodar, but my little happy halfling. So yeah, they're walking. This group of 5 is walking up to you. They're off to see the wizard.
They're walking to us?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
5 people approaching you.
Well,
Uh,
Yeah, I think we wave at them and flag them down.
Theo's like, oh, thank
Yeah.
God, they're walking away from us.
I raise my hand that's still not limp, just like
Yeah, we wave them on over and with smiles and cheerful demeanor.
they're walking towards us already. Is what I was trying to.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Yes.
Because for some reason, you said they're off to see the wizard. I was like, who are you talking about with the wizard?
Owen, that's the closest thing you guys have to a wizard right now.
Right. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because they don't know I'm a sorcerer, so.
I didn't even know you were a sorcerer.
You need to stop saying things out loud, Kite. No, I'm just kidding.
How did you? Okay.
kidding.
I completely
kidding.
forgot
You're
that
good.
one. My fault.
Yeah.
Good job on you. You were so useless that entire time. Why weren't you casting spells?
Because I didn't have any
I know.
spell.
I'm just making fun.
I'm a first level sorcerer. What do you
Yeah,
expect me to do? Use
Break a finger?
Use
Hi.
magic.
magic missile?
I
Oh yeah.
I have detect magic, message, prestidigitation, read magic, magic missile, and reduce person.
You could have reduced.
Nothing.
You could have reduced Berg. That would have been funny. You would have been freaking
That would
out.
have been actually that would have been really funny. I should have done that.
Berg.
I have this bad habit of when we get in situations like that, I just kind of like zone out. As much
Kai's
as
like,
I
what would you expect me to do? Cast the most useful spell at the time.
Yeah, well, that's kind of yeah.
That's fine.
kind of where I was at.
You're all good. It's fine. So yes, they're walking towards you guys.
And I'm too busy over here trying to resize my character portrait.
It's fine. I'm just putting them all on the map for you. So
Like, well, I think like Nate and I said, I think we're flagging them down with cheerful demeanors.
Yeah,
Okay.
just kind of like letting Berg know as well. Just like looking Berg like good people coming.
are you saying that to him?
Yes, like they're good. They're with us. Like
I feel like he already knows those guys though, right? Because they live in the same territory. Because what?
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I was just waiting for you to finish calling Nate out.
Yeah, well, I mean that's basically.
I thought you said it was people we knew, so I was like,
No,
oh,
Yeah,
I
they're
said
people that-
Travis recognized one of them with
I see.
the nobility check.
And we recognize the halfling because he's the one that stopped us in the first place.
Yeah, so you're 1 for 5.
Yeah, and
I give him coffee bean.
I'm gonna look at my dislocated arm and go, I think something's going on.
do you want some help, Lucian?
I'm just gonna look at you like my face a little red and just like I don't know. I think I'm just running on adrenaline still.
I could try to relocate your shoulder if that would.
I mean, okay, and I kind of
Or I could just
like,
heal
turn
you.
up my arm. Is that gonna work? Is that just gonna make the tendon come back in? I don't know. I haven't tried this before.
Go ahead and give a heal check, Kai or Theo.
Such a
Alright.
bad idea, but okay, let's give it a shot.
The only thing you
Alright.
could do is rip it off.
Okay.
Then it
Like,
would really be
arm?
relocated.
So I sometimes seen people yank and it pull back in. Like if you'd like to try it that way.
I
So,
rolled an 11.
Theo, with your 11, you may not probably take you a couple tugs. The first one doesn't slam in the way it needs to. Yeah.
Ow! Okay.
I'm
Maybe.
I rolled a
sorry.
26 for my heal check.
Okay. Well, this is Theo doing it, and Theo, with your second push, you slam that in and it pops, but it pops louder than it probably should.
Oh no, I am
Oh,
so sorry.
Okay. All right. Maybe is that enough? Is that enough? Is it shorter than the other?
Yeah, we should totally let the sorcerer heal people. That sounds like a legit
mean-
plan when we got someone who can heal here.
I
Thumbs up.
lightly
Hey,
tilt to Owen and
characters'
just be
skills
like,
are not defined by their class.
Yeah, they are.
No,
wrong.
they're not. Okay. All right.
Uh,
All right,
okay.
I lightly tilt to Owen and just go like, maybe he can help adjust. Maybe is this look right?
With the 26, you notice that Theo has done a better job than you could have ever hoped to, Owen.
Is that what I figured
Yes,
out?
with the 26, with your expertise knowledge, you were actually admiring Theo's handiwork. And if Lucian,
lying.
No, I'm not lying. And if Lucian wasn't a stubborn bee, it probably would have gone a lot smoother. Sense motive, if you think I'm lying.
Oh no, are you actually gonna roll a sense motive there?
Yep.
Might have to amputate the
Here's
arm.
my bluff.
Jesus.
No.
Oh,
God has
that was really
spoken.
close. That was really close to boob.
All right. So are you guys just letting them walk up then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have
I don't think we have a reason to fight them.
no reason to stop them right now, I don't think.
That's fine. So the four of them, you see Melodar turn around and bow before them, and then he saunters gleefully up the path to you guys. Berger's just still sitting there at the table, drool now coming out the other side of his mouth if you're looking at him. And Melodar says, "Well, I can see negotiations have gone quite swimmingly, as the chieftain has ceased to be. What were the agreed terms?"
I don't remember him being a pirate.
I stand beside.
Stranger.
I I stand beside Owen.
The agreed terms
We
that he was gonna,
win.
yes, that he was gonna let the captains go, and then we would go talk to the people of Lovoxith about getting your people a place on the council.
What was his voice then, Siobhan?
I don't remember, but I know he wasn't a pirate. I thought he was more
Go ahead.
not Craig. I don't remember.
Oh,
God damn it.
I
Craig
can
was-
quick look it up if you want me to.
I could look at it. It's fine.
It's all right.
So,
It just threw me for a loop.
well, maybe he's changed a little bit. Some things I mean.
Maybe he
Yes.
drank some honey.
Wonderful,
you know?
wonderful, wonderful. Is that better for you, Takiri? Is that way better? Is this what you prefer?
No,
Oh.
it's not.
No, okay then, Takiri. So,
Okay.
and I am more than happy to make sure those terms are honored for you fine gentlemen. But I will have to ask, who will you be endorsing for clan head?
Clan head of.
The Hergast. You've taken out the chieftain, and it's your right to appoint the successor.
Who are our options?
And he turns and says, "So lucky, I'm glad you have asked." And he points to the four people behind him. "These are the appropriate successors for you to choose from."
Can I lean in and I'm gonna kind of whisper to the group. Should we try to make it one of us instead? This is the strongest clan within the Hergast. Should we try to lead it ourselves?
I don't think that we can do that.
I mean, he didn't tell us
I-
no.
I mean, I don't think I am qualified to held up for a clan like this, but
Hey!
I'm-
If it makes you feel any better, I don't think any of them are either.
I think it's such a
that
bad
doesn't make me
idea.
feel any better. Actually,
Okay, all right, I relent. All right, I'm glad I talked about this before I just offered it.
I'm starting to see stars.
You okay,
It's not
buddy?
nearly
Yeah,
nighttime.
yeah. But no, Sir Thalion, if you feel like one of these would be at least a good temporary spot until maybe we do find someone that would be a better response to the people of Ravani, then it would be in your best judgment, honestly. What do you think, Owen?
Do we know anything about any of these four?
No.
And you could roll knowledge and ability. What do you sense motivating?
When he's gesturing to those people, I want to get a sense of who I think, just by their demeanor, would be.
Okay. So you want it privately or openly?
Openly is fine.
You can see that when he points to the fourth person, the goblin, that he doesn't even really point to them. His finger trails off, and he almost glosses over them completely. So you could probably guess that he doesn't have much respect for him.
Mm.
Excellent. Well, go ahead. Somebody was asking a question first before I go further.
So, just for us, or actually ask the halfling, can we meet with each one of them one at a time? Have them give us a case for why they should be leader?
You're more than welcome to, as long as you appoint one before you leave this negotiation table.
Is there a private tent we can use?
You're in a tent. That's pretty private to me, is there's only that mindless oaf behind you.
His name's Berg.
I know his name.
We want to meet the goblin first.
Okay. Send in the goblin and have
surely you would rather meet one of the more respectable candidates. You know, seriously.
What do you have against the goblin?
Well, we're going to speak to all four. Does it matter what order we talk to them in?
This is your negotiation. You've won, clearly. Fair and square, mind you. Sure. And he walks over, and you can see immediately that the other three's faces dart angrily towards the goblin as the goblin stands up straight, puts his chest out, and starts strutting towards you guys.
Hell yeah. Swagger beyond swagger.
And
Goblin way, baby.
Melodar says, I present before you the most prestigious head of Clan Thistlefang, Magogo.
Magogo, I love it.
And Magogo says, greetings, friends. How are ya?
Well, good. How are you?
I'm
What was
great.
this?
What?
Oh, sorry. What was this clan thing called?
Thistlefang.
Okay. Sorry.
I am humbled by standing in front of so many champions of Lovoxith. Please allow me to offer my endorsement for clan ownership. I think I said that right. He wants to be endorsed. So allow me to request endorsement. There we go. There we go. Words. We'll get there together.
Give us your best spiel on why you should be endorsed.
And what your intentions are if you were become chieftain.
For years, we've been used as scavengers, taking care of the needs of the entire clan. And this has given us a stern work ethic, various language capabilities, constant troubleshooting and problem-solving tactics. And while we are meager, our strength is in numbers. We can handle any situation. We can be everywhere and have eyes wherever needed at any time. And we're one of the more well-spoken, as you can see, compared to our compatriots. And he looks at Berg.
Oh, poor Berg.
You talk too much.
Is that your plea?
Well, it's not so much my plea as what would you ask of me? What would you have me do for Lovoxith? Because at the end of the day, I'm the only one who's going to ask what your wishes are.
Well, if we had to be quite honest, I think our greatest wish is for peace across the city, and we know that there's sometimes some tension between different parts of the city, so we want to make sure that you may be diplomatic to work with and perhaps a little more open to working with others.
And if you endorse my claim, I will bring a peace unheard of before between the Hergastians and the Lovoxith people. As long as previous deals are honored. And he's more so talking about them using the recalibrators to make the land more habitable.
Damn it.
This guy couldn't be. You almost want to give him money for his words.
I'm loving his honeyed words from a beautiful goblin.
You're literally trying to buy. You're buying what he's selling. His words.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Well, Sir Thalion has a big grin and he's just looking around at everybody else for their acknowledgement.
I think this is the guy.
You would notice just Lucian looks zoned out. He's kind of like looking dead space, like as if he's trying to like write something in his head.
Okay. All right. Can I get a quick as I'm smiling, looking around, I see Lucian, and can I get an idea of what this guy's situation is? Like, I mean, is he going into shot? Am I gonna lose him at the table here?
I don't know if I can explain Lucian's RP with a 15 heal check. Lucian?
Like, what do you do to like come over to like sense my situation? Like, do you tap
I'm just
my
kinda
arm? Do you do anything?
No, not even touching you. I'm not like distracting. Like, I'm not touching you. I'm not trying to gain the attention of the table. I'm just literally just trying to look in your direction, and I see you're kind of zoned out and in La La Land, which I could tell is not typically like Lucian. And with your arm shaped the way that it is, I just want to make sure you're okay. And so I look over at you, and I just kind of want to know like how concerned I should be about your current situation physically.
He like shakes his head. He's like, "Oh, I'm okay. I
didn't
I just
ask.
know-
Thank you.
Can I cast detect magic?
You sure can.
And I would like to focus on specifically around Lucian.
Okay.
Can I detect any magic around him other than maybe himself?
Theo would definitely detect that he's sending message to you.
I did catch that.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. That's why he's zoned out, because he's trying to do the spell right.
I was trying to see if somebody was casting something on you specifically.
Yeah, he's just trying to talk to you because he knows right now they're in the middle of speak, so he's just speaking to you, trying to use the message to you, and that was what he was doing. So when Thalion was looking around saying he was looking at faces, I was explaining that he just saw a zone out because he's like practically the equivalent of an old man trying to text on a phone in his head.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's all I was explaining. I did not mean to take that away from what's
Give me a
going
stealth
on here.
roll, please. Oh, no,
Me?
hold on. Nope, not you. I lied.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll a stealth roll? Because I could.
Okay.
Oh god.
You're good.
Real quick, one other thing that I want to do as I'm smiling, looking around, I also want to cast Detect Evil, or use the ability Detect Evil. I'll across all 5 of these individuals.
Right.
I thought only one was in here right now because we're interviewing him
Well,
separately.
the other ones just introduced them, so I'm assuming they're kind of like bunched up, kind of nearby, waiting for their turn. So I think they're probably within eyesight still. I might be wrong. Bill, feel free to correct me, but I feel like they're still within eyesight.
Oh, no, yeah, they're all within eyesight, within 60 foot of you.
Yeah.
Only problem is that how are you trying to hide that you're doing this?
I mean, does it say I have to touch or anything? Can I just,
Well, let me
cast it silent? Or you can PM it to me.
It's visual, somatic, and you have to use your divine focus. So how are you casting this spell? So you gotta speak, you gotta move your hands, and you gotta use your focus.
I just kind of whisper under my breath, saying "good, good, 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 good," as I'm waving my hands under the table that we're sitting at.
You're not sitting under a table.
All right, then my hands are behind my freaking back.
Okay, and where's your divine focus?
Towards the individual in front of us, and hopefully, conveniently, the people behind him.
No. Divine focus is an object. It's what you it's what you channel your energy through. It's like a wand for Harry Potter.
Can I do it through? Can I do it through my sword?
If that's your divine weapon, sure, I'll allow it.
All right,
you lose if you don't have your sword. Well, actually, you don't have your sword. You have no weapon, so no, you can't.
Oh, damn. Okay, well,
I tried to let you have that. Sorry, buddy.
Thanks. You did your best. Thank you. How about my mistweave cloak?
Well, your focus is something that you would have had before, or like when you went in.
No,
So you
I
don't.
didn't
Yeah,
have
you
that.
gotta have. Well,
Usually a divine symbol
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, I don't have
you're
anything
trying. You're
heavy.
trying to reach too hard.
Yep, I am. I'll be the first to admit
So
it.
just come up with something. What would you use? Like a crucifix, an ankh? What would you have?
No, it's a little necklace with a little hammer on it.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, so
Perfect.
that's I thought I had me in my hands. I'm
So you
sorry.
take your necklace off and put it behind your back, and then start
Yep.
chanting.
Saying good under my breath.
All right.
You know, normal goblin behavior.
Give me a stealth roll, please.
All right. Whoops.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't say I was trying to hide it.
All right. Well, even the goblin knows you're doing it. So they are all gonna see you detecting. Did I roll it 4 times? 1, 2, 3. I rolled one for Melikar, but that's fine. So you can get rid of one of them. Actually, they all would have passed anyway. So they're all aware of what you're doing, and
Sure.
by the letter of the law, you will see that they are all varying levels of evil. I'll probably have to adjust the way the spell works because I don't think it gives you the actual alignment. Number of auras, power and location, and power depending. So
I'm gonna subtly hand off one of my pieces of parchment to Lucian.
So do you want this open or closed? All right, out loud, or I'm talking to
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sir Thalion. You want this out loud or to your
Privately.
All right, I'll give it to you
This-
privately. Yep.
It's just a piece of parchment, by the way.
Yeah, he just grabs it and puts one part of it in his mouth and
Right.
Yep. So the last thing that was said was he says he can do whatever you guys want of him, and he's the only one that's going to ask you guys what he can do for you guys.
Which I had asked him about his ability to be diplomatic, and he said whatever we want, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. I was right.
He's here to make sure you guys are happy.
That's what I like to hear. Damn good. That's why I'm smiling and just nodding along.
I'm going to ask you one more question. If you are endorsed, what will you do for your people?
I will make sure that I will make sure that they continue to be fed, that they continue to uphold the truce between the two cities, and that they leave this land unspoiled.
Oh, good enough for me.
Okay, thank you. Would you send in the next candidate?
Do you have a flavor or no?
Yeah, the one that's standing right next to him.
Yep, the Vishkani. So he walks back, and Melikor walks over, and you can see that he's walking behind this woman. She walks very proudly. He's got at least a 5 to 10 foot lead behind her, and she walks very properly towards you. And she bows her. She doesn't really bow her head. She tilts it gently, and says, "Greetings, conquerors of Lovoxith."
Yeah.
What?
No, keep going.
I think you will find that we are the most suitable replacement for our lessers.
And your name?
My name is Coxfremed, the Grand Snarl.
And what clan are you?
We are the Bloodfrost. Mystics, magic users, and law keepers of this lawless tribe.
So if we're to endorse you to take over as leaders, what would you do for your people?
Keep them in line.
I see.
How?
With, and she smiles, and you see her little snaky tongue sneak out of her teeth. With our laws.
Oh. I see.
Did we get this individual's name yet?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a long
I
one.
just heard it.
It's Ramed, the Grand Snarl.
That's right, the Grand Snarl.
Next.
No, not yet, Takiri. Some more questions that we have that we'd like to know of everybody is your willingness to work with us as your endorsers now and beyond today. Also, how your feelings are with working with other parts of the town, even though there might be some tension currently or maybe some historical tension. We just want to kind of be aware or be sure that you're willing to work with others.
We will respect the laws of the city as long as the laws of our domain are respected inside our walls. As is the truce with your Kildrek, if I understand correctly.
Yes, you're correct.
Then this isn't an unheard of notion and should be respected.
Next.
Okay.
She doesn't
I just-
move.
I just kind of wanted to get a feeling for her.
She's going to rule with an iron fist.
Yeah. Okay.
Whether
Absolutely.
And I believe it, right? Like what she's saying.
Oh yeah. To whose detriment, you are not sure.
To our detriment, that's for goddamn
Uh-huh.
sure.
Don't like that at all.
And
Don't like her in the
Melodar
slightest.
goes, "Isn't she a gem?" And she looks at him and cuts some eyes, and he slinks back. He's like, "I mean, who wouldn't want her to be the leadership? But next, please, next." And she hisses at him and does like a quick head snap, and he jumps backwards, and she slithers over. And then, without even waiting to be announced, the cloaked figure walks up, and he pulls his hood down, and you see a burnt skin face individual. Looks like he's got lasting second or third degree burns, probably why he's cloaked up. And he doesn't bow his head, and he just says, doesn't wait for, I'm sorry, wrong person. Says, "Who speaks for you? Who will I be talking to?"
Sir Thalion points at Takiri.
Oh.
Yes.
I'll point to Owen.
He's looking at Takiri.
Yes.
Damn it.
What's your name?
If you value the lives of those in your city and in this district, you will nominate me and be done with this charade.
That is a long name.
Sir Thalion definitely is trying to hold back a smile and laugh. He is working out exactly as he was hoping to when he pointed to her.
Yeah, Theo's pretty upset.
What is charade?
You have ended both of my leaders, of my betters, my chieftains, and yet and then you are allowed to appoint another by our silly customs. Stop playing this game with my clan, with my people, and let us rule as we were ruling. We will leave this land as it was. We will adhere to your negotiations, but leave the clan that was already in charge where it is.
Thank you. Next candidate,
Yep.
please.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Goes Down Road something very long name. Next.
When he stares at you, and you can feel the heat from his eyes piercing into you as he turns his head, and he just nods at you with a smile and says, "I will not forget you, Mr. Good Hope.
Ooh.
Do not forget
I,
Blake Dagut."
Lucian. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
That was
Blake
it.
the Heat?
Dagut.
Big oot.
Lucian just kind of like watches him a little more intently, and then looks over to Theo. I didn't like what he just said to Owen there.
I didn't either.
Sounds like
Owen
he has the hots for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is friend of
Is that what you
yours?
read? I
Burning
didn't read that.
desire.
It seemed
I'm
kind
still feeling my heartbeat in my neck. So I
Something's
don't know.
burning, but it wasn't desire. Or at least not that kind of desire.
Yeah, it seemed a little more murderous in nature.
Oh.
Maybe that's
Not
what
so
the
much those hungry eyes.
They could be hungry.
Yes. Owen is your friend?
He is not my friend.
You know him?
No, he was the next underling of the two chiefs that just died.
He know you?
Well, he knows of me.
Next.
Melodar is already walking over, and you see him having a really long conversation with this other individual wearing the smoldering leather. And Melodar is pointing at each one of you. He's talking to him. He's doing a lot of hand motions, pointing to the Ramani, pointing to Lovoxith, pointing over to you guys. And you see him start rubbing his head in frustration, and he starts yelling, "Just go talk to them!" And the guy looks down, or actually looks up at, they're about the same height. This is what do I have this guy as? I believe he's a hobgoblin. Yes, he's a hobgoblin, so he's not very tall. He takes a step forward to Melodar, and Melodar, you see, looks frustrated, goes behind him and starts pushing the guy forward. And he stands in front of you, and he looks like he's trying to hide behind, like he immediately tries to hide behind Melodar, but he's the same height, so he's just standing behind him. And Melodar says, "I introduce you to Solgag, Ash Wielder of the Burn."
Hello. Greetings. Could you please have a few moments with us?
And Melodar turns around, looks up at him, and the guy's just standing there.
Is he like blinking or breathing, or is he actually like frozen in place?
He's blinking.
Okay. Well. Sir Thalion looks at everybody else, and he's kind of like looking around, kind of wondering what to do at this point.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
Oof.
He takes a couple steps back, but not really.
I'm going to, stoop down to be eye level with him, and ask him, "What clan are you from?"
And he says, and Sir Thalion, you will hear him say this.
Sir Thalion steps up next to is it Owen?
Yeah.
Steps up to Owen, and he looks over at Owen and says, "Would you like me to translate for you?"
Please.
And Sir Thalion looks at the candidate in front of him, and he speaks in Goblin. "May I translate for you?"
And the goblin looks up at you, and then goblin says, "Yes."
And so Sir Thalion looks back at Owen and he says he would like me to translate for him as well. And so he said hello, he greeted you, and he said burned.
And Melodar sighs and says, "I apologize. He only speaks in one-word sentences."
Okay.
I like him.
Ask him what he will do as leader of his, if he is made leader for his people.
Sir Thalion looks back at Owen and he's like, do you expect a successful one-word answer from that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And so Sir Thalion shares that. And what does it sound like, Bill?
And I
Perfect.
gave you your answer.
And Sir Thalion looks over at Owen and says, he says enforce. And Sir Thalion is also kind of grinning a little bit.
You see that this guy is way more relaxed around Sir Thalion than he is anybody else.
Ask him how.
Sir Thalion asks the goblin, how do you plan to enforce?
No, not too many words. How?
Okay. I will keep that in mind. Thank you. And he looks Thalion looks back and says, he's by how he is going to punish. And Sir Thalion goes ahead and steps in and says, do you wish peace across the city and keep the infighting within the Huragast amongst themselves? And Sir Thalion is he nods his head and says he wishes to keep the peace with a parley.
Melodar then says, "Maybe it'll help if I just speed this up a little bit. They are used as our enforcers, punishment dealers. The mainly nomadic. They keep to themselves. They don't try to really be bothered, and they haven't had the nicest, taken to by the bigger folk in the Hergastian nation."
Sir Thalion looks back at his group and asks, is there anything else that we would like to ask the goblin? He says to Malador. Or he kind of glances at Malador as he says that.
You're asking me?
No, I asked my group, but as I was mentioning that we want to ask the goblin, kind of like hinting at like we were having a conversation with the goblin. But I'm asking my group if there's anything else that they wanted to ask the last candidate.
No.
I'm good.
I don't think I have anything, Lucian.
Oh, me? No, no, I have no further questions.
Do we have any other questions for the candidates that we've already talked to?
No, I'm pretty. I think we should just we should I think we should talk privately.
Yes.
Sir Thalion kind of nods at the goblin and wishes him in goblin good fortune in the future, and nods at Malador and says, we need a few minutes to be able to deliberate.
Take time.
Yeah.
And he
Alright.
walks back, and you see that the Vishkani lady walks away, and the Silt Sleeper guy walks away.
Was the Silt Sleeper the first one we talked to? No, no, that was Thistle.
Yeah, Thistle.
Thistlefang.
That's
That's
the thing.
right. Yep. Great.
Mock Gogo?
Magok.
It's-
Yeah, that's who it is. The Thistlefangu was Makogo.
Yeah.
Makogo.
Makogo.
I don't like how that Silt Sleeper spoke to you, Owen.
I don't either, which is why I'm definitely not voting for him.
Yeah, but I hope he doesn't have anyone like alongside him. I was just conversing in my mind with Theo. Do you think it would be best to try to figure out some form of defense for the candidate we do put into play? Because if they're as ruthless as they were here when we came in, I hope they wouldn't do anything to the leader you point.
Yeah.
I think as long as they're useful, they're worth our protection, but I don't know if beyond that it's worth our time or effort. What goes on in the Huragast is up to the Huragast.
Right, and if they could have taken the power, then they already would have.
That's a good point, too.
Okay. I mean, we did take out a few powerhouses.
Well, that's true. So without those two powerhouses,
Yes.
I think things might be a little. I don't know if I should say equal, because the Blood Frosts have magic and stuff. So
Mm-hmm. That's what I was worrying about too. Sort of a power vacuum. As soon as one thing's out of place, something's going to try to fill it.
right.
I liked the first gentleman. I had to say he had me going. And the last one I think is a useful idiot.
Oh, that's rude.
Excuse me. I will withdraw what I said on that. I apologize.
Thank you.
You said the first one had you going?
Easy.
As a
Yes, he make eyes at him.
no,
No,
that's not what I
no.
meant.
Yes,
I meant more
was
so
very uncomfortable.
he
he
was
was handsome. I
he was
mean,
lying.
I think he was actually telling the truth. I mean, everything sounded great. I mean, it sounds like we could use him. And he's willing to work with us. The only thing is, why would he continue that? He gets his position and then can just go do whatever he wants. There's no way for us to enforce that.
Why would
That's-
we want to enforce that?
If he refused to do what we wanted him to do, we want him to
But
use the
all-
most powerful part of the clan of the Huragast to be able to keep them in line so that way they don't cause any future problems for the city. There was a
We-
huge group about to attack this entire city just recently. Are we not concerned
We
about that?
want them to be a part of the city as they were before, right?
Well, they tend to have a violent tendency, do they not?
So
So we should discount all of them because they have quote unquote a violent tendency, you say?
Yes, you have to, but I mean, as far as a willingness to cause violence to outsiders is my concern. Inner fighting, I don't think bothers us as much as them wanting to cause conflict in the city is my only concern. Listen, once again, I was facing down one of their chieftains, and the fact that they wanted to start violence against the city, does that not concern anybody else here?
I didn't say
No.
that.
Well, that leadership is gone. Wasn't that the chieftain that got ate by the demon?
We've always had problems with the Huragast, though.
Well, then maybe this is something that has to involve the courtship of the Lovoxith. Maybe we can find some kind of mediation.
And that's why I think it's important to have somebody that represents the biggest clan of the Huragast be willing to work with us. There's obviously
yeah.
that lady didn't want to work with us at all,
Mhm.
and
No.
that gentleman, the third one, didn't seem very helpful, and the fourth one may be able to, but I really don't know how much we can communicate in one word sentences to be able to make sure he keeps the other clans that are a little more linguistically inclined to stay in line.
Agree. It should be Magogo.
I
Yeah.
agree.
That's who I was.
Yeah.
The first one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Politician.
I mean, I don't think there was ever a contest. It was always going to be him.
Right.
After meeting the other three, it was always going to be him.
Yeah.
I vote for Berg.
Berg. I guess we didn't really consider him.
Bug.
Yep,
Yes.
very linguistically inclined. Great.
Perhaps, and I look
Magogo.
at Theo. Berg would probably be a good asset for Magogo.
What if
Yeah.
instead of one leader, we pick two, we choose Berg and Magogo?
Vice.
Vice lead.
Vice chieftain, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's good.
Or have, Magogo and have Berg as his protector.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that.
This okay with to carry. Spoon, are you very quiet? You still upset you tried to kill me?
No.
Really sweet that she asked.
Politicians talk too much. Silver tongues,
Yes.
all of them.
They all lie, but
I vote for last guy. Fewer words get things done.
Sorry, you're outvoted.
Thank you for your contribution.
We appreciate your opinion.
well,
Spooner, go now.
yes, it was a little abrupt.
So we choose Magogo, and is there anything else we wanted to discuss before making the announcement to Melidor?
I think we'll also if we let Malador know, we need to let them know that the negotiation was successful, and that the guards can definitely not be high-strung at the gate. They'll be at least able to understand what happened in the situation, what is to be done, and maybe they'll bring their officials down from Lovoxith court to be able to figure out what needs to be further done. Because we need to figure out what we need to do with Grimm's Eye.
Do we want to meet with Magogo before we let Melidor know to make sure he's going to be continuing working with us and using Berg?
Oh yeah, we need to talk to him.
I just didn't know if we want to talk to Melidor to make the announcement first or talk to Magogo first.
I think we would want them both come into the tent and converse this.
Well, I think we should tell Melidor first.
Okay.
Melidor first. Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so, I trust you on this.
Oh, you looking at? Should I go? You want me to tell him?
I mean, I'll open up the thing and call for Melidor.
Okay. I wasn't sure. It seemed like someone was putting in that suggestion there.
Lucien, can you do a couple of jumping checks or something?
He just starts jumping in place. Okay. Why? Why am I supposed to be doing this?
I'm hoping this will help calm you down a little bit, bud.
Okay. I actually feel more excited. But all right.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Stop.
Anyway, Sir Thalion goes towards the door. And so, one more time, who we want to meet with Melidor and Magogo at the same time?
Nope, just Melidor.
All right, Melidor. So, Sir Thalion opens up the door of the tent and says, Sir Melidor, could you come and join us?
And he skimpers up. Ah, rightfully so. What's up? What can I do? We made a decision.
We have.
Wonderful.
So, what clan are you a part of?
I am the servitor. I serve all clans.
Okay.
BC.
What are your opinions of each of the clans that we just spoke to?
They're all very fine, astute, and he looks at Makogo and says, and some have their flaws, but
What are their flaws?
I mean, small in number, meek, eager without the legacy to support their claims.
So let me ask you this question. What would happen if we made Magogo the tribe leader?
You would get a good laugh out of me. You're serious.
No, really, what would happen if that happened?
He looks at you, and he's trying to find the words, and he looks at Magogo and looks back at you. He's like, "That, you understand that thing right there is Magogo."
I do. I understand. I know exactly who I'm talking about. What would happen if that one was made leader?
He would be the leader of all the Hergast. That's what would happen.
How long do you think he would survive?
How long are you going to let him survive, considering you've taken out the past two?
So you don't think that any of the other clans would attack them?
They would seek to start a blood war between all clans, then that is their right. But a lot of us are united under one banner for a reason, and it's seen us through thus far.
And you said they're the smallest clan?
They don't have the size as the other clans, and they don't have the legacy of leadership that they claim that they do. But, and he sighs, one can argue they possess a little more tact than the others. But when you have nothing else to offer, then tact is the way you go.
Oof.
What about what do you think about Stelgog?
Sulgag, I mean, are you trying to cause a riot? I don't understand. I mean, the man speaks in one-word sentences.
I'm just trying to get your opinions on all four clans.
Well, your intelligence is lacking, sir, if you're honestly considering a man who can only speak in one word. Is there anybody else here with any insight?
And what was the gentleman's name, the ashen-looking gentleman who came in third? He never gave us his name.
He did. He told you his name was Blake DeGott before he walked away. He said, remember his name. So is this how it works? Do Lovoxians only have one person speak? Don't you have councils? Do any of you else have opinions?
I'm just trying to get your opinions.
It doesn't matter what my opinions are. You clearly don't respect them. So why don't you just decide who you would like to appoint, as folly as may be, and I will go relay.
Why would you say I don't respect them?
You're over here asking me about the two lame ducks. When you have
they were the first two, so I was getting to Blake Taw next.
Again, so that's two chances I've had to be unimpressed by your opinions. Thank you.
Okay, it's going to be Magogo.
And the rest of you agree with this.
Sir Thalion places a hand on Owen's shoulder and says, Yep.
And I nod.
I nod as well, but like more hesitantly, just because like this is all a little bit much. Yeah.
Thalion crosses his arms and says, "This wouldn't be a problem, is it? We defeated the chieftain fair and square, and that is the law, correct? We get to pick who it is. And so, therefore, we pick Magogo. Is that going to be a problem?"
I like Berg.
I'm sorry, you were asking me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if he's gonna be, he told you what was gonna happen. So if you're just gonna keep
There's a riot.
No, he never said it was gonna cause a riot. He said you could leave it open to a riot, but he said that if that happens, they're turning their back on the whole reason that they formed the clan, and they would all be at each other's throats. So it would be a civil war. Nobody would win.
Yeah. Which
We
seems
heard
him.
scary.
But that's
there a
not
way-
stopping any. I mean, Lovoxith could do that. That's any
Right.
any body
That's
of power. Yeah.
It also
Is there a-
doesn't mean that's bad for us
Right,
if they're
it's
busy
not-
with themselves.
Well, this is the thing. It's not bad, but it could become bad. And all I would suggest is what we said, the same thing with talking with the Lovoxith court, is just letting them know, like, maybe there needs to be a talk with all these clans while there is an appointed leader based off of the group that was sent by Hugo. And then whatever Hugo then has to talk with the courtship, that's what will be discussed. We've done our part.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have to get in the middle of a civil war. I really don't want to.
We got in the middle of something ever since what happened with Lovoxith.
Yeah, we don't need to get in the middle of something even more difficult to get in the middle of.
I just feel like there's more pressing matters than what's happening here after we have appointed what we all agree with.
That's yeah,
Exactly.
much more pressing matters.
So we agree with Magogo then, still.
Yes.
All right, then. Yes, so we choose Magogo. And we won't be questioned on it again. I'm very scared about the silence.
Yeah.
Is silence is good.
Takiri, Sir Thalion looks at Melodor and says, "Yes, is silence good?"
See, he.
Sorry, what was the question?
I'm
I'm sorry. I got a lot of side conversations going on. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's completely fine. We just wanted to make sure we didn't want to like intervene while you're having that side conversation.
Well, I'm intervening in what you're trying to accomplish here. So go ahead.
We made the decision for Magogo.
Now,
And-
I've heard two of you say that, maybe three, because I think Nate agreed. I didn't heard anything from Takiri. Takiri keeps saying Berg, and I haven't heard anything from Spooner or Theo.
Theo
Spooner's
agreed.
muted.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I still haven't heard anything from Spooner.
He voted for Stolgag, or is that how you
Stolgag?
pronounce his name? Yeah.
Solgag. Okay. Well, it seems like you guys haven't made a uniform decision. So maybe you need to see how you can get. It's got to be unanimous here.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
What?
What do you mean? What? You want to play a group game or
Three
not?
rules. Is it Okay.
You won the negotiations as a team, not one of you.
Okay.
Actually, if
Okay,
you want to
then-
think about it, Tom almost failed the negotiation.
So Tom's choice doesn't matter? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if we're not, it's not about an individual thing here. You guys all passed through that together. So really, yeah.
Okay.
So
then-
you guys need to you bounce back and forth between two of you, and then you ask the opinion of Kai and Nate when you just need a yes or no. But you're not really communicating to Kai, Thalion, Thai, Lucian, and Spooner, and Takiri. You guys are, the three of you are spitballing it back and forth pretty much, and then telling the other groups to agree, or telling other people to agree.
I already agreed to begin with. Lucian
You
and
don't
I were
count,
having
Kai.
this.
I'm trying to make a point here.
No, but I'm just saying like that was me, but I'm not saying that Spooner doesn't disagree. Like we need to actually convince him.
Huh?
Okay. So then let's just all circulate. We'll get together here. And I trust that we gained enough of the opinions from Maladar.
2 and 3 are bad. Yes?
Yes. We can agree with that.
Yes.
Spooner, what are your thoughts?
Spooner has no thoughts.
Okay. How do you feel about 2 and
Spooner
3?
don't feel.
All right. Well, Spooner doesn't have any thoughts, so we'll just go with what Owen wanted. So what was it? We're going with Magok then?
We are, right?
I believe so, but I thought we were supposed to converse and try to all come to an agreement.
That's fine. We're